You're receiving a bonus. You're getting a bonus check. This is fantastic. Whatever you did to earn this $50,000 bonus, I'm proud of you. I knew you could do it. If you're wondering, hey, I'm going to get this bonus and then it's going to disappear on me, that's a good concern and an issue that a lot of us run into when you have a bonus, when you hit payroll time. It's, hey, $50,000 hit the top line. What actually lands to you feels like half or sometimes even less than half. So let's look at why that's the case. I think there's a flaw in the payroll systems and I want you to understand why. So say that you have a $50,000 bonus, again, nicely done, and you have normal wages, and we'll call those wages $5,000 per pay period. So when the payroll system, when they punch it into whatever payroll system they're using, they take a look and say, well, if you made $50,000 and $5,000, if you made $55,000 per pay period, every single pay period throughout the year, that equates to 1.43 million. Nicely done. The tax rate on 1.43 million, we will call 50%. Hence why they're withholding so much tax there. If instead it looked at the system and said, you have your normal wages of $5,000 every pay period, that works out to $130,000. And you have this one-time $50,000, the odds are you are actually making $180,000 this year, not $1.43 million this year. At $180,000, your tax rate is probably closer to 30% if you're factoring all of the assorted taxes that come in there. Really important to understand like why the system is doing this, but the reality is your effective tax rate is likely much lower than what it's going to assume your effective tax rate is going to be. So if you know that you're going to have a larger check, if you can see on the horizon, okay, this should pay out on this pay period, if you go to your payroll department and fill out a new W-4, they should be able to help you through withholding differently or setting the tax rate and saying, I want to actually withhold 30%. I do not want to withhold 50%. They can go in and adjust that and make sure that they're not just doing the default, which ends up with a lot less in your pocket on the front end. You would recoup it at tax time. You go to do your taxes, it should say, oh man, you really over withheld. Let's get some of those tax dollars back to you that you had paid in. But if you're like me, interest-free loans to the government's not my favorite thing in the world. If I can keep the dollars in my pocket today, I'd rather do that than have appropriate withholdings rather than a massive withholding at bonus time just to try and recoup it at the end of the year when I file my taxes. So it should make sense. I would love if you were in a spot where you're making $1.43 million a year, but maybe the reality is that you're dealing with a lower tax rate and should withhold more appropriately depending on your situation.